I think one of the best parts of Providence Place is the peace you feel when you walk in. And they do have a lot of things going on here. Puzzle table, card games, outings. It's really been a great place for me. I'm glad I'm here.
Call today.
Coming up on this edition of Reel to Reel. The men's conference is coming up October 4th. We have lots of reasons why you should be there. I'm Carol Lee McGrath. I'll have the story coming up.
I'm David Martin. I'll have the story of Westfield Eagle Scout Brandon Jakovsky as he received his Catholic religious emblem.
I'm Steve Kiltonic in West Springfield. I'll show you the sights and sounds of New England's great state fair, the Big E.
These stories and more are coming your way next on Reel to Reel from the Big E in West Springfield. Hello and welcome to Reel from the Big E in West Springfield. This is one of the largest fairs in North America. The Big E is a powerhouse in entertainment, education, and industry. Its history runs deep here in Western New England. More than 1 million people now attend the 17-day Big E, an annual autumn extravaganza of entertainment, exhibits, and agriculture. It's the culmination of a visionary idea first expressed by Joshua L. Brooks at the beginning of the 20th century. Year after year, Eastern States Exposition raises its standards and brings the public bigger acts, bigger foods, and bigger vibes. Steve Kiltonic will tell us all about the big mood here at the Big E coming up later on in the show. But first, the Catholic Men's Conference is just around the corner in 2 weeks, coming up on October 4th. It's been years since a men's conference was held here in Western Massachusetts, so it's fitting that it should be held during this Jubilee year. Carol Lee McGrath tells us that the organizers are preparing an uplifting day for attendees.
Jesus said to Peter and Andrew, "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." And that is still the call of our Lord to all the guys out there. Follow him. And on October 4th at Bellamy Middle School in Chicopee, there is a great opportunity to do just that.
So we're really excited for the men's conference to be coming back. It's been a long time since we've had the men's conference, especially kind of in the post-pandemic times. This is a great opportunity for us to just get together and see each other again, just to celebrate being Catholic.
Joe Austin, the director of the Office of Missionary Discipleship, has been working for months to put together an incredible lineup of speakers, including Dr. Peter Kreeft, a well-known Catholic philosopher, author, and professor at Boston College. Father Justin Bolger, Dominican friar of the province of St. Joseph, ordained in 2020, and chaplain at Brown University and at the Rhode Island School of Design. He is also a member of the Hillbilly Thomas, a band of friars who play country and bluegrass. They will be performing at the conference. Also speaking, Artie Boyle, a hockey dad of 13 who had a miraculous healing. His son Brian Boyle also played in the NHL for the New York Rangers, the LA Kings, and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Sam Tadzia of Red Barn Ministries will be the master of ceremonies. The father of 5 is a Catholic youth minister and speaker with a focus on building up the youth in the Catholic Church.
This year's mission is called. So it's just kind of examining this question of like, what are we called to? What are men called to? A lot of men, they really think about this question. What's my mission in life? Where am I going? What's the meaning of life? This big question. What is God calling me to? So we're going to be examining that.
Sister Dee Dee Byrne, the sister of our own Bishop Byrne, will also be speaking at the men's conference, and she's going to talk about the importance of fathers being spiritual leaders in the family. Sister Dee Dee, the superior of her order, the Little Workers of the Sacred Hearts of Jesus and Mary in Washington, D.C., spoke on Divine Mercy Sunday at the National Shrine of the Divine Mercy in Stockbridge. She retired with the rank of colonel from the U.S. Army after 29 years of service. She is double board certified in family medicine and general surgery, serving as an Army surgeon in Afghanistan.
I can only just say that I just share about my own father and my own mother. Dad was a leader of our faith, and the bishop would tell you that.
The day will also include adoration, a chance for confession, and Mass with Bishop Byrne.
So often we hear such critical things about men, as if being a man is somehow a bad thing. No, this is how God created us, male and female. And so he wants men to be good, strong protectors of our community, of our families, and good and loving fathers. And this is what the conference is going to do. It's going to encourage men in their role in our community.
To learn more, go to diospringfield.org. Reporting for Reel to Reel, I'm Carolee McGrath.
Well, Westfield Eagle Scout Brandon Cherkovsky, a member of Troop 821 out of the Westfield Sportsman's Club, is actively living out his Catholic Christian faith, participating in programs culminating with the receiving of the Adultari Day religious emblem, followed by the Eagle Scout Medal. David Martin has more.
The scouting community gathered when Westfield Eagle Scout Brandon Cherkovsky received the Ad Alteri Day Scouting Religious Emblem at St. Michael's Cathedral in Springfield. Father Yerrick Mendez, the chaplain for the Scouts in the Springfield Diocese, presented the emblem.
He actually has some sort of knowledge about the treasure that is our faith. And the reason that gets me excited is because a young man who does that is now being equipped himself to teach that to other people and to share his faith. And that's how our faith has always spread, from Jesus to the apostles.
Father Mendez explained there is a workbook that Scouts complete while earning a religious emblem. It provides an education while delving into the mysteries of the faith, a similar process as catechesis. Brandon studied the sacraments, looking at baptism and Holy Communion.
According to the Scout Oath, you have to do your duty to God, and when those get tied together, it really signifies the importance of doing your duty.
Brandon was busy with his Eagle Scout project, which is an incinerator to burn old flags. There was an abundance of flags at the Marine Corps League. He pitched the idea to the Westfield Sportsman Club, who agreed to him building it there. His father, Chris, is a veteran of the Marine Corps and retired from the Air National Guard.
So to have him recognize a problem that we're having with the proper disposal of the flags, come up with a solution, and then carry that solution into the Eagles project was simply amazing. And I think he definitely touched the heart and soul of every veterans organization.
Brandon received his Eagle Scout medal during a ceremony on June 21st. Brandon's Scoutmaster for Troop 821, Jason Petoniak, said it was a great day to celebrate Brandon and others who become an Eagle Scout. He was present when Brandon received his Ad Alteri Day award.
A lot of scouting is giving back, which is something that we like to see, and have the scouts give back to the community and give back to their church.
First of all, congratulations.
Brandon is proud of his Eagle Scout status.
It means the world to me. It's one of those things that you have on for life. It's a title. It's the beginning of a new journey. So for me, that means opening more doors in the future.
Brandon announced he plans to work with religious advisor Paul Isaac to earn his next religious emblem, Pope Pius XII. Brandon's mother, Colleen, was his den mother in Cub Scouts from kindergarten until 5th grade.
I believe fewer scouts earn all 4 Catholic religious emblems than earn Eagle Scout. So that is a really large achievement for him. He's determined to finish the series, finish the 4th in the series.
Father Menendez believes it was very important for the St. Michael's Cathedral Parish to support Brandon as he received the Ad Alteri Day emblem, and also welcome the scouting community.
See a young man doing something related to the faith, and they see him getting up there, having done this work, standing and he's representing all of them. And I think that was an opportunity for our own community here, even though they might not have known Brandon on a personal level, to be encouraged and to support him and say, well done, keep going.
Father Mendez is hopeful that Brandon's religious emblems will encourage others to follow his example and gain a greater knowledge of and become more enriched in their faith. For Reel to Reel, I'm David Martin.
Brandon received the Scout of the Year award from a Veterans Association, and the Pope Pius XII religious emblem involves discerning a vocation, whether committed single, married, or a religious order. Scouts can interview a priest about their vocation. And still to come on Reel to Reel, I will introduce you to Carol Adamski-Maggi, a cantor and musician who also composes whimsical works on her canvas. And Steve Kiltonick tells us why this year's Biggie has the biggest mood ever. It's all still to come on this edition of Reel to Reel from the Big E in West Springfield.
Like Catholic TV on Facebook. Once you're there, you can join in on discussions, make friends with other Catholic TV fans, watch behind-the-scenes videos from the studio, and stay up to date with the Catholic world. All this at facebook.com/CatholicTV.
All these cute animals here at the fair make me think of our next story, featuring someone you may recognize if you're a regular viewer of the Chalice of Salvation weekly television mass. Carol Adamski-Maggi has a gift for music, and she's a cantor and guitarist, but her talent doesn't stop there. On any given weekend, Carol Adamski-Maggi can be found lending her gift of music and song as a cantor at St. Cecilia's in Wilbraham. Or on the weekly televised Chalice of Salvation Mass.
Taste and see the goodness of the Lord.
And when she isn't singing, Carol is in her studio composing on canvas. Her work is inspired by nature, animals, fruits, and vegetables. I'd say it's very sweet and playful. An exhibit at Trinity United Methodist Church in Springfield earlier this year showcased Carol's work, from butterflies to ladybugs and frogs to these 6 cute little parakeets.
I wanted to not just exclusively paint one animal, so I thought, let's put them in a group, and it just seemed a really happy subject, and it makes the person viewing it wonder what they're doing. Why are they together, and why are they with flowers? So you can just interpret it as you wish.
Many of the paintings Carol creates are from her own photographs. Back in her studio, she took me through the process of painting this still life of 2 green peppers, a tomato, and a grape. Beginning with the vegetables, she took a photo on her phone. She makes a rough sketch.
And when I sketch out my idea, I typically use a watercolor pencil in case I want to go back and erase. I can just simply wipe it off.
Carol says each medium she uses requires a different approach and technique. She prefers to work in acrylics.
Well, there's 2 things regarding acrylic. The good news is that it dries quickly, and the bad news is it dries quickly.
Carol says she has been inspired in her work by 3 artists: Paul Cézanne, Georgia O'Keeffe, and Vincent van Gogh. Van Gogh for his use of color.
He evoked emotion with the intensity of the colors he used. So I used that. I like incorporating that aspect of his work into mine.
For O'Keeffe, it was her still life unique use of flowers.
She would do close-ups of flowers, so much so that it becomes almost abstract. So I like that aspect of it.
And with Cézanne, she was inspired by his still lifes of fruits and vegetables.
He had a different way of assembling his still lifes, and his was also very geometric. not the standard still life.
And with every stroke of the brush, Carol says that she prays to God for inspiration.
And I do pray to God to guiding me sometimes when I'm stuck and I don't know what to do next with the painting. I think, well, what can I do? Help me. And I always get an answer. I always get the inspiration and I know, oh, okay, yes, that's what I should do. But yes, typically prayer is really a crucial part of my life, and I use it with everything that I do.
And Carol will be displaying her artwork at the Wilbraham Senior Center Holiday Bazaar coming up on November 22nd from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And now let's take a look at some of the other events coming up here in Western Massachusetts. The Dominican Nuns of West Springfield cordially invite all to take part in their annual Rosary Sunday devotions at 1 p.m. on Sunday, October 5th. This will include the blessing and distribution of roses, recitation of the Rosary, and benediction of the Blessed Sacrament. The monastery is located at 1430 Riverdale Street in West Springfield. Sponsored by the Diocesan Catholic Charismatic Renewal, a healing mass will take place at St. Francis of Assisi Parish, 24 Jabish Street in Belchertown on Sunday, September 28th at 2 p.m. and at St. Anne's Parish, 30 College Street in Chicopee on Sunday, October 12th at 2 p.m. Beginning at 2 p.m., a half hour of adoration inclusive of the Rosary will precede the Sunday Mass, with an opportunity to be prayed with immediately after Mass. Father Henry Dorsch, CCR chaplain, will preside, and all are welcome. And Father Sean O'Manion, exorcist for the Diocese of Springfield, will give a talk sponsored by the Disciples of Mary entitled Exorcism and Sanctification on Monday, October 6th at Sacred Heart Church in Feeding Hills. The evening begins with adoration at 6 p.m., followed by the 7 p.m. presentation. Cost is $15 in advance and $20 at the door. To register or for more information, call 413-452-0511 or email disciplesofmary@diospringfield.org. For a complete listing of calendar events, head over to iobserve.org for a link. The Big E is America's only multi-state fair celebrating the rich history, culture, and traditions of the 6 New England states. The 17-day event has grown to become the largest fair in the Northeast. And as Steve Kiltonick tells us, this year the Big E has a big mood.
It began as the vision of Joshua Brooks, who wanted to create a venue that would develop and showcase an agricultural New England and help area farmers and businesses. Brooks and 12 community leaders purchased 175 acres of swampland in West Springfield. In 1916, the group convinced the National Dairy Show to move its annual extravaganza from the Midwest to the East. In the fall of 1917, 138,000 people gathered on the grounds of the first Eastern States Agricultural and Industrial Exposition. No one could have foreseen that this event would last 109 years later, surviving 2 world wars, devastating hurricanes, floods, and a COVID-19 outbreak to remain one of the top 5 fairs in the country. Whether it's the world-class musical acts, agriculture, food, the rides, the skills of a master craftsman, or the circus under the big top, the Big E has something for everyone, drawing a record-breaking 1,600,000 through its gates last year. According to Gene Cassidy, last year was the Big E's most profitable year in its history, taking in $6 million.
The Big E has been part of my life since my childhood. I have so many memories of this property, and that's what draws people to the fairgrounds. You know, it's family memories, friendship memories, the tradition, the American way of life.
Each year, a different Big E theme is coined and marketed.
This year's fair theme is the Big Mood. But the big mood is like the mood of everybody should be happy on the fairgrounds. And of course, there's a tie-in to our agricultural mission, and that being cows.
Before heading out to enjoy the fair, Cassidy, along with employees of the Big E and other fairgoers, attended the Bishop's Mass. Held under the circus round top on the first Sunday of the fair, the Mass is a long-held tradition.
For 50 years we've been doing this Mass here. It just shows you that faith, fun, they all go together.
Mass is also held Sundays at 8 a.m. at the Storrowton Village Meeting House. Bishop Byrne mentioned a few of his Big E favorites.
Well, I'm going to see definitely the pro-life group in the Better Living Pavilion, and I love the Dingle Pavilion. But other than that, it's pretty much cream puffs, and cream puffs are my other three.
Food is always a big draw at the Big E, and back again are some of the all-time favorites, like fried Oreos, corn dogs, the Crazy Burger. Maine potatoes always draw huge crowds.
We have 90 new food products on the menu this year. We probably have as many as 20 or so new food vendors, which is important to try to change things up each year.
Some of the new foods include the iconic Big E Cream Puff with a brand new flavor, espresso, for that extra kick. Mauritius Farms Moon Nug, it's chicken nuggets filled with maple-flavored ice cream, applewood bacon, and rolled in frosted cornflakes. And this from Macho Taco.
This year we're introducing the deep-fried chile relleno, which is kind of our take on a carnival chile relleno. It's a poblano pepper battered, deep-fried stuffed with ground beef and cheese.
Throughout the century, entertainment at the Big E has always been top-notch, with many headliners taking to the Big E Arena and Court of Honor stage.
So we've got an interesting, eclectic musical entertainment that spans every genre, every age group. You know, people like me can go see Foreigner, and our kids or grandchildren can go see Kid Laroi, who I have no idea who he is.
At the Avenue of States, the 6 New England states celebrate their history, culture, and traditions, including various products, businesses, and tourist attractions. Rocky's Hardware and V1 Vodka are 2 local businesses at the Big E with a Catholic connection. Rocky's Ace Hardware is owned by the Falcone family. Rocco, the 3rd-generation owner, is a lifelong communicant of St. Mary's in Longmeadow. Brian Bower, a parishioner of St. Cecilia's, spoke about the latest innovations in outdoor grilling.
So we have 2 of our best grilling partners here in outdoor cooking this year at the Big E. Traeger wood pellet grills, the #1 brand in wood smoking. We're also featuring Uni pizza ovens. The outdoor pizza ovens have been a big trend in growing popularity over the last few years.
Bower said faith is an important component of the overall business strategy.
We are rooted in service. Service to our customers, service to our communities. We want to be a good partner in the neighborhoods we serve. We also are very active in the community nationally. Ace Hardware partners with Children's Miracle Network.
Paul Kozub is the owner of V1 Vodka. His headquarters is in the former St. John's Catholic Church in Hadley. Kozub's 100% organic spelt grain vodka is distilled in Kamień, Poland.
We've been at the Big E for 19 years, so you always got to innovate and do some new things. So this year we have 2 new concept bars. We have a Christmas bar that's obviously all Christmas cocktails. And we also have the Smoking Dragon bar, based off of Krakow and the Smoking Dragon of the Wawel Castle in Krakow, which is one of my favorite places in the world.
The White Christmas Martini comes in plastic Christmas ornaments, while the Blushing Dragon cocktail is made with food-safe dry ice for a smoking effect. Kozub got the idea from Harry Potter.
You know, in today's world, people want things that are photo-worthy, Instagrammable, and not only does this drink taste amazing, it looks pretty cool too.
Kozub is a longtime communicant of Most Holy Redeemer in Hadley with his wife and 4 children.
One of my social media sites is called God Family Duty. I put God first in everything, and that's kind of been one of my guiding principles. If you treat other people with respect and follow the 1st and 2nd commandments, you know, your business should grow.
Kozub tries to live out his Catholic faith, which he tries to incorporate into V1.
And I'm so grateful to be Catholic, and more I want to speak out that V1 is a Catholic company and that we support traditional values, and that's important to us.
In the Young Building is the Dingle Peninsula Pavilion, which has been a fixture here for 25 years. Off the western part of the peninsula lie the Blasket Islands, whose inhabitants spoke only Gaelic.
But there was no jobs there. It was fishing primarily. And so the first Blasket Islanders came over to Hungry Hill in Springfield, late 1800s.
Over the next century, many of the islanders assimilated into Western Massachusetts, bringing with them their craftsmanship, which is on display at the pavilion.
Our presence here has really reopened and reconnected people. We have people, our visitors from all over New England, but particularly from Western Massachusetts, that come to share their family stories with us. And we've now got 12 businesses here bringing their extraordinary arts and crafts, all made back in their workshops on the Dingle Peninsula. And it brings this extraordinary sense of craftsmanship to the Big E.
True to its agricultural roots, the Mallory Complex showcases various farm animals and livestock, doing their best to catch the judge's eyes and go home with the top prize, the Grand Champion ribbon. During this showmanship competition, various dairy breeds, including Brown Swiss, Holstein, Red and White, and Ayrshire, are displayed by their young handlers.
The judge is judging how the people present their animals and how they walk them and how they're clean, and they judge how you control the animal, how you set their feet in place, and what they're looking for basically is the person that can do it the most correct and the quickest.
New England's great state fair, an autumn tradition that will never disappoint, whether you're young, old, or somewhere in between. For Reel to Reel, I'm Steve Kiltonic.
Well, I really don't know how they're going to top this mood next year, but I'm sure they'll find a way somehow. Thanks so much to Gene Cassidy and all the folks here at the Big E for hosting our program today. And if you haven't made it to the fair yet, there's still a whole week left. It runs through Sunday, September 28th. And that's our program for today. Thank you so much for joining us. For all the latest news of the Catholic Church here in Western Massachusetts and around the world, you can find everything at iobserve.org. We are also on Facebook, and you can follow us there at Catholic Communications. I'll see you at the same time again next week for another edition of Reel to Reel, your window on the world around you. And we leave you now with a Big E video postcard. Have a great week.